Fire, fire, fire.
Infinite possibilities, and it all got shitted up.
This video is sponsored by Opera GX. The year is 2023, and for Bethesda Game Studios, it's the final sprint.
Wow.
The culmination of hundreds of millions
Sick.
of dollars and a quarter century of work. And for hundreds of people, almost a decade of full-scale production is about to materialize.
It looks so
Starfield
bad.
is releasing on the 6th of September, and Todd Howard's magnum opus
I
will
can't
be
believe
upon
it's been
us.
3 years almost since the best game of all time released, chat.
2018. Fallout 76 reviews have come in,
Uh-oh.
and they're not too hot.
Ooh.
Fallout 4 was a few years before. Not amazing either.
Ooh.
Todd's once perfectly polished image
Fallout 4 is fun if you mod the fuck out of it. Otherwise, it's not a great game. Yeah, it's just mid as fuck. And this is coming from someone who loves Fallout, like the franchise.
is now getting torn to shreds.
The
people, they're like wild animals. But he remains unfazed. When they see this next project, everything will change.
Yeah, they're gonna see it my way.
Starfield
What does it say? Hold on, let me look at the posters. Awesome cities, Starfleet Day, where it all began. Weird planets, thousands of them. Details, details, details. Immersive, mysterious, your own ship, realistic art style. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Starfield is Todd Howard's dream game. Something he'd wanted to make since he was a kid. And Bethesda had waited patiently for the technology to arrive to make it.
What
And
technology?
now was the time. By this point, Todd has also amassed an army of around 500 people. They span multiple countries and 4 whole studios.
What have I said about how many people work on a project? I don't think it can translate to a game. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with people from different areas working together, but when there's too many people, there's too many voices. Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, everybody wants a piece of their thoughts in the game, and it's I don't think it can be cohesive enough.
The manpower here, sizable. And they're going in big. Voiced protagonists. Something that spent
And by the way, I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm a sound designer or I'm like, I don't know, an artist or whatever, because that's like a cohesive thing. I'm talking about like game design specifically. Diablo was made 15k people. I think it was 9,000 people. Yeah, 9,000 people made Diablo 4. And when they were supposed to make changes to the game, the bureaucratic process sounds fucking horrible. Yeah, like how many emails you have to like go through and how many meetings you have to go through to like change one little thing.
a ton of time and
It
money
shows,
on,
yeah, it
and turned out
does.
to be one of the biggest complaints of their last mainline game. Let's bring it back. And at the start of Starfield's development, Bethesda's design lead and head writer Emil Paliarulo goes on to cast voice actors and record lines. He's even
Holy
weighing
shit,
having
that's
multiple
so
voice
strong.
actors this time round. However, early on in development, higher-ups come to a realization. Bethesda had been taking an unrelenting stream of L's for a few years
Yeah,
now.
Wolfenstein was a big
Starfield,
one.
well, it should probably deliver.
I think Wolfenstein was horrible and it was actually overshadowed by Fallout. Like, people didn't really talk about it that much, but I do think Wolfenstein fucking sucked.
So they decide on a change of pace
That was
and to
clapped.
actually take in some fan feedback. And the voiced protagonist thing is scrapped entirely.
New Blood was ass. Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
game
talking
engine
about.
too, historically a notoriously robust bit of kit. And as brilliant as it is,
Yep.
fans have been quite vocal about wanting a better one for almost a
Nah,
decade.
fuck that.
So they get working on that too. Also, RPG elements, well, they're actually adding some here. Behind the scenes, things are looking good. 2021, 5 years of active development, and the game is beginning to take shape.
Okay.
Bethesda's parent
Nice.
company ZeniMax has also just been bought out by Microsoft,
Oh.
and money is now no object.
I think that's when
Microsoft
Elder Scrolls
wants a
Online
system
started going
seller,
to shit too.
and Todd's only job is to deliver one. They have all
Who's
the
laughing
resources
now?
they could possibly want. And on the 13th of June, Todd marches on stage, and we get our first look.
This was not impressive to me when it first came out. I'm gonna say it. I think if Starfield came out probably like around about the same time as Skyrim, it would have been an okay game because that at that point the engine was old, but like people still didn't care.
Wow. Their first new IP in 25
The graphics
years.
are not
The
holding
ultimate
up.
Bethesda game, Todd says. And after years of groveling for a new engine,
No.
we get our wish. The Creation Engine 2. Okay, people aren't massively thrilled,
Great.
but this is groundbreaking stuff, Todd insists. And there
Please show the clip of him saying that if you can't handle playing it, get a better computer. Please.
it is. One of Todd's crazy dates again. May 22nd, 2022. Around 7 months out from launch, and that's out the window. Because the game's delayed. Come back in early 2023.
Why do people care so much about graphics to join the game peoples? Because his entire thing was about graphics. 16 times the detail, how amazing and realistic the facial movements are. If you're going to prompt and make your game, the forefront of it, one of it being graphics, the graphics should be at least half decent. I understand if a game has a wonderful design and the actual graphics are not, I wouldn't say remedial, but like old or like it's part of the aesthetic. It's not good when you make it part of like the reason why people want to play it. It shouldn't
The
be
disappointment is palpable. But in June,
There's so many games that like run on really old computers and the gameplay is really, really fun. Starfield is not one of them. The gameplay is bad and the graphics are bad.
Todd's on stage again, and we hear some
Double whammy.
familiar lines.
Our most ambitious game ever, where you get
here
to
we
be
go.
who you want and go where you want.
Not again.
No.
But then,
You can go
we
to
get a
that
glimpse at
mountain,
the
chat.
actual
You can.
gameplay for the first
Trust me.
time. Deep crafting systems, weapon mods, buildable outposts,
Wow.
even your own spaceships.
Wow.
Wait, we can even fly them? Land and explore anywhere? Over 100 systems?
What?
Over 1,000 planets. My god.
Wow.
Also,
So
were
ambitious.
those background options and traits in a Bethesda game? A silent protagonist is back? Were they actually listening?
No.
Starfield was going to be an
Tell me
actual
lies.
RPG,
Tell me sweet
a
little
true return
lies.
to form. The reveal doesn't come without concerns, however.
Yep.
The performance. It doesn't look great. In fact, you can see the game barely holding it together at parts. The gunplay and dogfighting look a bit stiff, and 1,000 planets.
Optimization will come when the add-ons and the mods, come into play, guys. Trust.
Here another sweet line. Well, this game sounds very procedural. Todd hears the concerns. Don't worry. Starfield has more handcrafted content than ever before. More than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined,
Wow.
he assures us. He doesn't give any solid figures though. For some reason,
You
Todd
never
says
do
he stopped
that.
giving out
Never
numbers.
show them your hand.
It's now March 2023. The game should be releasing in just a few months. But no. Game's delayed again. Come back in September 2023. Summer 2023. Todd returns to the stage again, and this time, he's brought almost an hour of gameplay with him. The game looks a lot more polished. We also hear some more familiar
Yeah, I
lines.
remember
That
that.
isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
Visit
That mountain is not just a backdrop. You
the fucking mountain clip.
can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Thanks, Todd.
September 6th is now
So
about
cool.
3 months away.
You're so nice.
So Todd and the boys put on some fresh kicks. It's time for some interviews. Washington Post, GQ, Esquire. The man is everywhere. Todd's like a playboy. The marketing machine is now in full frenzy,
He's such a player.
and
How
lots
could you
of
hate
totally
him,
normal
chat?
articles are being released.
What the hell is even that?
He's Christopher Nolan. Todd Howard is the games.
By the way, can I just say this? Why the fuck are we doing all these interviews with like Vanity Fair or whatever the fuck? Do you guys actually read those? Like, I'm a gamer and I've never read them ever, unless it's like on stream or something for like proving stuff. You know, like providing sources or some shit.
Tom Cruise
Hail
is
to
to
the
cinema.
no. I know.
He cackles when I suggest this theory to him.
Sly, boyishly handsome structure. Dude, they're glazing the fuck out of them.
Slight, boyishly handsome, sharp-jawed,
Bro.
and tousled-haired. He has the look of classical antiquity.
Oh my
He's
fucking
become a
God.
semi-mythical figure to gamers.
What?
Now 52 years
Bro,
old,
the
the only
glazing
real
is
sign of him
crazy.
being flesh and bone are some faint bags under his sea blue eye.
Bro, why do you guys not glaze me like that, man?
He's reserved,
Dude, they're
but not at all
sucking him
shy.
off.
Talkative, but never all that forthcoming.
I can't hate him, though.
Okay. He even posts on Reddit. Fans are increasingly excited. It's like Todd's doing a victory lap here.
We don't
Whatever
get
they've
paid.
cooked up over in Maryland,
True.
it's good. Turns out, they'd had just about every QA person at Xbox on it, and they're saying it's the least buggy game in Bethesda's history.
I actually think they might have not been lying. No. Chat, hear me out. With how buggy Skyrim and Fallout 3 were, I remember playing them at launch. It was fucking horrendous. So, I actually think it might have been true.
500
Yeah, like, in
developers,
comparison?
$400 million.
I don't think they're
Almost
lying.
a decade in development. Out the way, Halo. This
Yeah,
is
frick
Microsoft's
Halo.
new system seller. Emil says it's the best game they've ever made. Todd even compares it to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Probably has more of a feeling of like a Red Dead 2, right? Like I'm living the Western fantasy. Yeah. So
Other developers are trembling in fear at the release date, and games like Baldur's Gate 3 have shifted theirs back by more than a month just to avoid crossing paths. The masters of the RPG.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think that's a dumb thing. Even though Baldur's Gate blows it out of the fucking water. And by the way, for the record, again, I love both the games. I've played them both. I can tell you, not Starfield, I meant more like Fallout and Bethesda games. I've played Fallout and Bethesda games a lot. And I've played Baldur's Gate 3 and Divinity. I do think it's a smart move. It wasn't necessary, but I think it was smart.
had checked out for a
Yeah.
while. But on September 6th, Daddy's coming home.
Oh boy.
Before that, do you browse the internet?
Yes,
And are you using
unfortunately.
insert generic internet browser here? The grey colour scheme. Generic corporate design. My god.
Disgusting.
Opera GX makes browsing online fun. The perks are numerous. Trying to watch a video uninterrupted,
Whoa.
or
Whoa.
mid-fight and sick of
Whoa.
intrusions. How about complete uninterruption?
Ooh.
Because Opera GX is equipped with formidable ad-blocking technology. Video
Wow.
pop-outs. So you can watch
I can do that in
entertainment
Firefox,
or important
the
news
pop-ups.
updates at all times. A sidebar filled with music and media to ensure dopamine flows at all times. And added privacy and cross-continental IP addresses
Whoa.
with their free VPN. Also, sick of your friends and family walking in during some late-night reading? Hit the panic
Reading.
button and your tabs are hidden.
Wait, hold the fuck up. This is actually so strong.
Most browsers have limited
Wait, that's kind of powerful.
customization. A wallpaper here, color scheme there. But Opera provides a wealth of options. It even has a mod page. Peruse the aisles, and the choices are almost limitless.
Whoa.
Witcher, Halo,
Whoa.
Dark Souls,
Whoa.
other stuff. Animated wallpapers, keyboard and tab sounds, unique splash screens. Almost everything is completely customizable.
Tabbing
Online.
in and out
There's
gives you
even a
the
custom
metal
big
pipe.
box mod.
That's strong.
You can also
Oh my
mix and match
God.
multiple mods to create the perfect mix. Or create your own. Opera GX can be whatever you want. Can't be bothered to migrate everything over? Well, it's equipped with a state-of-the-art import tool. A few clicks, and your browsing history, bookmarks, and cookies,
Your
they're all
cookies.
here. It's also compatible with every Chrome extension. Opera GX is
Wow.
good. You should install it right now through this link.
Midnight,
Midnight, 6th of September, 2023. Starfield is set for launch. And people jump into Bethesda's first new IP in 25 years.
Ooh.
At first, Starfield is met with rave reviews. 88 on Metacritic, and a ton of 10 out of 10s.
You gotta
coming
wait. You always gotta wait for the journos and wait for the real gamers to assess it.
It's amazing. A near perfect space.
Even when I know a game might be good, I always want to see what the Steam reviews are like, at least what my chat says. It's a better gauge. It really is.
Game.
I
But
don't
a few
trust the
hours
journals.
in,
Even when
and
they
some
agree
time
with
to
me, I don't
reflect,
trust them.
and opinions slowly begin to change. The performance. On PC, there's a bit of chop.
Why
Oh,
did you not
cheese and
optimize this game
crackers.
for PC?
Here we go.
did. It's running great. It is a next-gen PC game. We really do push the technology, so you may need to upgrade your PC for this.
Just stop being poor. Just stop being poor, you idiot. You peasant.
This game.
The system requirements, quite demanding.
Yeah.
The game requires an SSD to run, and yet,
What?
space has never been this choppy.
We might run into some chop. Chop? We could
You're
handle
chop.
chop, right? I mean, it's
$3,000 PC.
No, we're not going anywhere unless he says it's safe, all right?
Don't worry about the chop. You don't know shit
Dude,
about
imagine if he said that back when back then when RAM sticks weren't expensive. Imagine him saying it now. People would lose their fucking mind.
chop.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
really?
give him a
You
wham,
do? You're
idiot! You
I'll
poor.
chop your fucking credit card in half. How about that?
Even on NASA tier PCs, low FPS and massive frame drops. Also, AMD sponsored the game, and conveniently, Intel and Nvidia parts are specifically struggling. There's also no Nvidia.
Wait, that's so fucked. I actually hate that. Yeah, you're sabotaging your competition?
DLSS in the game, something that modders are able to patch
Nah.
in within hours. On Xbox, things are a bit more consistent, but even then, Todd's chained us down to just 30 FPS, even on the $500 Series X. That 30 FPS is also the
fucking
target
crazy.
FPS. That's
I know
what it's
it's
aiming
bad,
for,
but not
and
that
not
bad.
always what it's hitting. Walk into a city like New Atlantis, and that number dribbles down to the low 20s.
The main city.
Is this piece of shit?
This is on a AAA game, on a barely 3-year-old console, in the year 2023, when most other big games can run at
3 years ago,
120
chat.
FPS.
Ew.
The head of Xbox says it's a creative decision. So far, the
Dude, imagine I have a debut and it crashes and I say, guys, that was intentional, guys. Like, I'm debuting a new model and it crashes my computer and I'm like, guys, it was intentional. I didn't actually want to show you anything. I didn't want to, like, have a good time and stuff. It's just what I wanted to do. You wouldn't get it.
console Metacritic is just about hanging on.
Yeah, guys.
But for
I'm
PC,
professional.
it's bombed
Just.
away. Spared the horrific performance and actually managed to run the game? Well, there is some good stuff here. For the first time in a modern Bethesda game, physics are no longer tied to frame rate.
Yep.
You can now uncap it without causing horrific issues with jump height, movement speed.
Yeah, I tried to play Skyrim, I want to say 3-4 years ago. And I had to do the trick again where you had to, like, very delicately balance the FPS. Like, to make it not fucking fly around and the physics being tied to the frame rate. Because when you load it to the game without altering it or installing a mod or something, it makes a fucking horse fly up into the sky and ruins it. You have to
Enemies
block it.
and objects. The
I was like,
shipbuilding
holy
is great.
shit, man. How is this real?
The gun mods are pretty good. There's some
It's pretty
RPG elements here,
good.
and for a Bethesda game, a relatively bug-free launch.
Yeah.
Far less game-breaking issues and corrupt save files.
Yeah.
They'd even cracked ladders. That's the good.
Wow, the
And then
bare
there's
minimum.
everything else.
Guys, the bare minimum has been met.
Starfield was conceived 25 years ago, trademarked a decade ago, and started full development 8 years ago. And the final game had come out the other side, severely lacking.
It's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's one of their most bare-bones games yet. Incredibly basic things are just missing.
That's why
The
people aren't really
FOV slider.
playing it.
Fallout 76 had one. Fallout 4 had one. A simple
Also, Why the fuck would they play this when they could co-play No Man's Sky? At least No Man's Sky improved.
Text file change in the game files allows Starfield to have one, so why wasn't it in the game? There's no ultra-wide monitor support, no HDR on PC, there's not even any images on the save files. There's also no brightness, contrast, or gamma sliders of any kind. This is on a game that looks horrifically washed out.
Yep.
Dodgy TV or monitor? Unlucky, son. This is what your game looks like. An in-game calendar? Nope.
Nope.
Your start date is May the 7th, 2330.
Then you're guessing.
So if you want to know what day it is, you'll just have to keep track yourself. There was a calendar in Elder Scrolls Arena back in 1994.
Nah, fuck
There's
you.
also no in-game map.
Again, the bare minimum.
Again, Arena had this in 1994. Simply no longer possible. Technological
It's too
marvels
hard.
lost to the sands of time.
Yeah.
And despite
So
multiple
lazy.
delays and intense QA testing, the game still quite buggy.
You can do pretty much anything.
I remember I had a friend that played and there was like a quest where you're escorting and it literally wouldn't work no matter what she did. She's like a space enthusiast. I'm not super into space games. I'll play them if it's really fun. But she played it and I remember she got to a point maybe like 9 hours into the game and the escort kept getting stuck and it wouldn't matter what she did. Unless she went into the files and started like altering the mission and basically like fiddling around with like where it starts and ends and like moving the NPC, it just was permanently broken and she had to like restart the game. Yeah, like 9 hours in. Yeah, it just works. Yeah, it just works, bro.
Exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy.
Huh.
You do explore differently in this game.
We want you to feel hopeful.
Whoa!
We want you to
That
feel
must
the
be the
sense
end of
of
the world,
awe
huh?
and wonder. And sometimes...
Wait, was that the follower walking across? Wait. What is
You
this?
do explore differently in this game.
Is that the
we
Coca-Cola
want you to
Island?
feel hopeful. We want you to feel the
NPC just in front.
sense of awe and wonder.
Oh my god.
And sometimes a little fear.
May I see your credentials, please?
Ah!
Now it would
Bro,
take probably 4,
that's
5, 6
horrifying.
loading
It looks like a
screens to
sleep
get to my
paralysis
ship from the top of
demon.
Neon. The amount of loading screens is disgusting.
Yeah.
Spaceflight
That was a big
should be
complaint.
exciting and dangerous.
It is dangerous. Pop.
We always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life
Yeah.
into our
The
worlds.
hand grenade in the water. Oh, it's Asmon!
Yeah, you can't knock stuff around.
Our biggest goal
Bro, even Fallout had that. That's insane. Like, not all objects, but most objects.
for lighting was to make the game feel more filmy, to use lighting and color to really make it feel
Wow,
more
lighting
cinematic.
and color, I'm sure.
Really like to change my ship right now. That'd be great. It's too bad that the NPC is up there.
Outside of the game itself,
Get him
Starfield
down!
launched with a $300 collector's edition.
Holy
This included
shit.
a patch, some art, and a box. But centerpiece,
$300.
an electronic watch. And turns out, a ton of these
It
are
doesn't work.
already breaking.
Wow.
Alright, pretty poor effort, but none of that matters. Modders
You
patch
got
most of
fleeced,
it in a matter
motherfucker.
of days. What does matter is the
It's crazy they just don't hire the modders. It's so crazy to me. The amount of modders that make games amazing and playable and just they just refuse to hire them. Thousands of hours of work they do for free for the love of the game, and they wouldn't even like give them the time of day to like help them out or like say be like, hey, you could probably have a job with us. I
actual
never
game.
understood
And
that.
Todd and the boys had somehow created entire star systems to explore here.
Wow.
And turns out, he wasn't lying. There actually are over 1,000 planets.
No way.
Spaceships, space flight, all in a Bethesda game with the same bones as Morrowind.
I mean,
This thing was a miracle.
it's like fucking 20
We
years
had
old, brother.
unparalleled freedom to explore here. And after clearing the first mission, players board their ship and set course for the stars.
Wow.
They could fly anywhere. Hold on. Set course? Was that? Loading screens.
Fast
Surely
travel.
we could actually fly to planets in this massive space exploration
Hell
RPG.
no.
Some spend hours attempting this, and turns out, no.
They lied.
No, you can't.
Yep.
Because planets in this game are literally just massive JPEGs floating around in an empty skybox. That's space.
Dude, that's completely flat. That's 100% flat,
That's
dude.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That can't be real, right?
You can't land on them. You can't even get to them without hours of your life gone. Manage that, and you'll just phase through them.
Wait, I know this clip!
That moon is
Wait, didn't she used to work for Xbox or some shit? This lady, I have such a vague memory. I know her from somewhere.
actually there. Yes, you can visit it too.
Want to actually explore
For Sony?
space
Oh, it
in
was
this
for
space
Sony.
exploration
Yeah,
game?
I remember her.
Well, that'll involve digging through layers of horrifically organized interstellar maps, and then bearing multiple rounds of cutscenes and loading screens to get anywhere. Exciting stuff. Can't fly in atmosphere. Can't take off from planets. That's another loading screen too.
Yep.
People are over the
Loading
moon.
screen simulator.
There's also overly drawn out animations every time you get in and out the cockpit
Oh my god.
and dock onto ships and
That would
stations.
piss me off.
These aren't even used as covers for loading screens. They're just long, unskippable animations
They don't even
just
do
for the sake of
loading
it.
screen.
Want to be immersive and actually fly around? Well, thankfully, we have options. You can get into the cockpit, long animation, launch into orbit, cutscene and loading screen,
Cock.
and then use the ship's targeting system to pick a planet with a quest marker on, cutscene, and another loading screen. But why do all of that when it's 10 times longer than fast traveling from the menu? And why even have a ship if
They
you're
did
just
that on
going to
purpose,
use the
by
menu?
the way.
There are
So
some
people would be
random encounters
discouraged
in
from
space.
doing it.
Pirates, bounty hunters, contraband scans,
Nope.
unique events.
Nope. It's too much of it.
However, space combat isn't great, and all of these are completely avoidable by instantly fast traveling somewhere else.
Yep.
Bethesda also never bothered to add a system that tracks and prevents repeat encounters,
Computer.
so be prepared to hear a lot of the same space shanties. Okay, space, a pretty big part of an open world space exploration game, pretty much non-existent,
stuff.
but it's okay still. This is a Bethesda game. Their strong suit has always been on for exploration and world building. Once we actually land on these planets, there'd be an overwhelming amount of things to do and places to
sure.
see. More handcrafted content than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined,
Oh.
Todd said. We could land
Todd says a lot of
anywhere,
things.
explore entire planets. So fumble through the menus again, and after 2 cutscenes and 3 loading screens, players land and emerge onto their first new planet in the settled systems. Huh?
It's nothing.
Where is
It's
everything?
literally nothing.
Okay,
Yep.
let's check the map. What on earth is that? A bug? A rendering error?
No.
perhaps? No.
No, it's
Turns out,
intentional.
that's just how they designed it. Okay, let's put that back. Luckily, there's a
Dude,
scanner
I'd
we
be
can use.
so pissed.
And it looks like there's a few undiscovered locations in the distance we can head to.
Wow.
Hundreds of meters away.
Oh boy.
That could take a
Walking
while.
simulator.
So best get out the rover. Wait,
Where is it?
there's no rover.
What?
Bethesda designed
Huh?
a planetary exploration game without a readable map or a land vehicle. Okay,
It's
running
for
it is.
immersion, guys.
The world looks good. Bethesda has nailed the lighting and skybox, and there's some interesting creatures.
So it had potential. It's just they didn't finish it.
Natural
Photosynthesis.
formations dotted about, alien dung piles to sift through, and a few old facilities to explore. This particular planet has an abandoned cryolab, a UC listening station, a relay station, and an occupied cave. Not sure why the abandoned facilities are full of enemies, but occupied caves are completely empty. But anyway, wow. There's even
People
some of
can
that old
overlook that.
Bethesda environmental storytelling here. Nice. But eventually, it's time to take off and head to another planet.
And it's the same shit.
on.
Photosynthesis.
Is that? Identical formations, the same creatures,
Yep.
the exact same
Procedurally
cryolab,
generated, you guys.
the building layout, enemies, spawn placements, even down
You
to
can't even make the excuse that it wouldn't be generated. Like, you wouldn't be able to have a game at this point or have the technology to create relatively differently generated rooms or dungeons. I thought it was so fascinating when I was a kid and I was learning about how Diablo 2 was developed. Like, it is generated. Obviously, every dungeon that you go into is the same, and there's obviously a rule of thumb that you can follow. But at the end of the day, it's not an excuse. Like, the technology's there. What are we doing? No Man's Sky Day 1. Yeah, this is essentially No Man's Sky.
Dead bodies,
Cringe.
notes, terminal entries.
Guys,
everything about this place, the exact same. The game has over 1,000 planets and 120 star systems.
Just kidding.
And Bethesda decided to just sprinkle the exact same 100 locations around them. And due to a weird algorithm, a lot of the time, that'll be more of those caves, cryo labs, and UC listening stations. Even the main quest of the game recycles these identical locations.
Yeah, they didn't have time.
Multiple times.
Oh, we were right there, man!
Outside of procedural places of interest, there's about 4 main cities in the game, around 30 small settlements, and just 82 unique locations. All this spread between 1,000 planets. There's also a couple dozen temples scattered around, but these lose their charm quickly because, again, they're all the exact same, down to the enemy placement and even the same puzzle.
It's so
These are also dotted around on
lazy.
random planets, so half the time you'll be finding these ancient, untouched temples next to a procedurally generated Taco Bell drive-thru. It's also a bug that shows most of the game's points of interest on a planet. And there it is.
Whoops.
The most interesting place in the galaxy. Again, Todd wasn't lying. You can land anywhere on these planets.
Yeah,
However,
he didn't say it was interesting.
everywhere is pretty much the exact same.
Photosynthesis.
Planets in Starfield do have varying weather, atmospheric hazards, gravity, and signs of life. There's also some hills, sometimes some craters, and even a few planets with multiple biomes.
Sad.
But mostly, these planets are going to be looking the same.
This
and
is
you'll
an
be trekking
unfinished
across
piece of
incredibly
crap,
repetitive,
chat.
flat land on foot for hours. Proper mountains in the game? Not
No
really.
rover, by
Valleys?
the way.
Nah.
I bet you they added the rover feature in a DLC somewhere.
Rivers? What now?
Nah.
There are oceans, even some creatures in those oceans, but Bethesda took out underwater swimming, so we can't even see them.
It's too
Hold
buggy,
on,
you guys.
does that say boundary reached? After running just 20 minutes?
Yeah, there it is!
What?
Yeah, they did.
We
Of
hadn't
course they
landed
did.
on a planet at all. We'd landed
In
on
an
a
update,
small,
not a DLC.
randomly
Aw,
generated
damn, if I was Todd, I would have just made people pay for it.
tile of a planet
I would have done that.
with almost
Fuck 'em.
nothing on. The tiles aren't even persistent with each other. Land on a bordering tile, and the last tile will look completely different. While there's not enough going on planets in this game, at the same time, the opposite problem. For a game about space exploration, nowhere is actually
Beat you
unexplored.
to it,
Head to a
Lamau.
barren moon in the middle of nowhere, well out into the furthest corner of the settled system, and you'll still land next to 3 old factories and a swarm of pirates not even 500 meters from the ship. You've just landed on a world with radiation storms, 200-degree temperatures, and acid rain. Oh look, there's a cave with some human remains. You're not
Cool.
exploring or discovering
Wow.
anything here.
Sick.
So what is there to actually do on these planets?
Nothing.
Well, you can scan and survey the geology and fauna for XP. However, this basically boils down to just running around spamming the left bumper.
Wow.
Of course, there's
Very
also no
interesting.
index for any of this, so you can't even see what you've scanned.
Fuck
Also,
you!
again,
Oh my
no
God.
underwater swimming. So Bethesda went through all the trouble of modeling, designing, and texturing underwater creatures, only for them to never be visible to the player. You can scan them though.
What?
You can mine materials and build outposts with them.
Oh my God, it's criminal, man. What are these motherfuckers doing for 8 years?
Which you can use to
For
mine more
8
materials.
years?
But outside of crafting and XP farming, it's a loop you can skip entirely by just looting or purchasing stuff. You can run through the same few heavily reused places of interest, And finally, complete the 1 or 2 incredibly basic Radiant Fetch or Kill quests that have a chance to spawn on them. But a few hours of running around the same small tiles of planets, clearing the same factories, mining the same rocks, and digging through the same piles of literal
again. Dude,
shit.
even Fallout wasn't that bad. At least Fallout 3, Fallout 76 was the same.
The game's 4 cities. They're not massive, and the performance is absolutely horrific in them. It's also 2023, and anytime you want to enter a building, there's a loading screen. Fast travel to a building? It will put you outside the front door. So that's 2 loading screens.
You can't keep getting away.
Again, this game requires an SSD to run. Also, this is the biggest city. There's like 400 people here. And it's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's also home to the largest and most advanced military force in the entire galaxy. But walk just a few hundred meters away, and you'll find camps of pirates and mercenaries. Trying to get around the city? Good luck, because again, there's no actual surface map. So finding anything here is a complete nightmare.
I hate that. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. You can't even ask a guard or something?
The NPCs, incredibly lifelike.
Oh my god.
Their facial expressions are quite something.
I've seen
And
these
turns
so
out,
many times.
in the year 2330, gunshots don't phase anyone.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
God
you
is now
just
also
have a
just completely
gun.
given up on the concept
Honestly, this is probably accurate to like Detroit. They're like, what, you have a gun? I don't give a fuck.
of Radiant AI.
Maybe they're just
In Oblivion,
desensitized.
NPCs had fairly in-depth day-to-day schedules. Here, they're just walking around randomly in silence, staring into your soul. Almost every named NPC in the game is now tagged as essential and unkillable.
Good lord.
The AI in general, interesting too.
He's just standing in front of her.
Terrible
You're just
in combat,
watching.
weird spawns,
Terrifying.
glitching through walls, ascension. The enemy variety, overwhelming. 90% of them are bounty hunters with guns, pirates with guns, or angry religious people with guns.
Accurate.
There's also a few types of robots, and then a
Monks
bunch
with
of mostly
guns.
passive animals. The combat itself is actually pretty decent,
Yeah, I heard that,
but there's
actually.
not much of it. Add on to that most enemies being pirates, a faction
Shooting's
you'll probably
decent.
join early on, and now there's even less combat.
Yo, guys, it's me, Charlie. Hey, did that guy just turn into sand?
The new lockpicking system. Very fun, and very rewarding.
Oh,
And for a game
cool.
so heavily reliant
Experience.
on
Wow.
inventory management,
I needed
maps,
that.
and menus, the UI here, absolutely horrific.
This is fucking bullshit.
bad UI
Okay,
design.
these fucking assholes, these
Menus
That's
within
what I don't understand either. You already had a pretty good UI design from freaking Skyrim and Fallout. How could you fuck it up this much?
menus.
Everything's a bullet
Maps
sponge.
within
Yeah, but the
maps.
shooting's pretty good and the combat is pretty alright.
Todd has been known
gun
to
modding's pretty
streamline
fun.
game features over the years, and Starfield is no different.
Yeah.
Melee weapons.
Yeah.
They're in the game, but there's not many.
Yeah.
The ones that are there aren't modifiable, like they were in Fallout 4 and 76.
Aw, that's
You can
cringe.
still take gun mods off, but this time, you can't add them back onto other weapons.
What?
They just disappear.
What?
No armor and weapon dismantling. You can't loot outfits from NPCs' bodies. And the base building from Fallout 4 is here, but it's bare bones. There's no
It's
settler
even
system,
worse than
raids, or
Fallout.
economy
It's already
system,
fucking bare
and the whole thing is
bones.
pretty much pointless.
Oh, what am I doing?
Stealth, definitely worse than previous games.
It's already dog shit. What do you mean worse?
People now see you through walls and platforms, and guards just teleport directly
That's
to you.
spaghetti code right
Companions rarely crouch, and alert everyone all the time.
there. Oh my god.
The game
I
also
hate
has
that.
cartoonishly large vents peppered around buildings, conveniently placed in areas you need to sneak around. They're so big, you can literally sprint around in them. This is definitely a coincidence, and not because Bethesda didn't bother to lower the player hitbox when you're
Yeah.
crouching.
Coincidence?
I think not.
The speech in Starfield,
Iconic.
a big step up from 4. No voice actors means more varied dialogue options, and a more nuanced dialogue system. More chances to persuade and affect quest outcomes, less, give me money.
We are for the money.
Also, you can now actually see what your character's about to say. However, there's also a new persuasion system, and it uses multiple rounds of speech checks to pass.
Do you want to have sex with me?
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
Not now.
Not now.
Not a
When
terrible
then,
idea,
woman?
but Emil and the boys
When?
couldn't really be asked to actually write all these speech options, so instead, they just wrote a bunch of generic ones the game can pull from, meaning half the stuff you say here will make no sense at all.
Hey, Douglas, how's the wife?
She died.
Attaboy!
It's also still based on percentages,
Honestly,
so you can just
accurate.
save and try again.
It's accurate
Do you want to
dialogue.
have sex with me?
I'm not giving you my card.
While there's some incredibly believable persuasion here,
Maybe I can make an exception.
the dialogue itself, generally quite bland and boring.
Oh my god, I still have to talk to this bitch.
Fallout 4 was criticised for its
It's like real
overuse
life.
of radiant quests.
It isn't real.
Ugh.
Another summit.
So in Starfield, they
Oh my god! Another sentiment needs your help. Another sentiment needs your help. No, they don't. Leave me alone. It's one play game.
dialed it up to 11. Even a ton of the regular quests feel radiant. There's a ton of fetch and kill quests,
Yep.
and these are now even worse because of all the loading screens and menu digging.
Despicable.
Need to speak to someone? Well, despite there being faster than light ship travel, inter-system radio, internet, or messaging doesn't exist here. You're gonna have to travel a few light years, and there are a few rounds of loading screens to have a 30-second chat, and then go through the same again to leave.
Just let me
A
play the
significant portion of the game
game.
could be skipped if you could just send an email.
Deliver
You also
the
have a
package.
smartwatch on your wrist for the entire game, but
You
can't
never
talk
use
or
it.
text someone on the same planet. But steal a paperclip, and everyone in every star system in the game instantly knows about it. Makes sense. A lot of the quests
Yeah,
are
of course
linear,
it does. The
ending
government
on
knows
one of
everything.
two outcomes, and there's pretty much no interaction between different quest lines, or even factions. Their outcomes don't affect anything, and mean nothing. While there's less
I
quests,
feel like Obsidian probably broke Bethesda in some way. I don't know, like they're just doing this to spite the fucking player, because everybody loved Fallout New Vegas so much for like the variant endings that they were like, nah, we're never doing that shit. That shit's lame.
than Skyrim.
The players
You'll
don't
still
know
be
what they
given a
want.
metric ton of them. And again, with over 1,000 planets and dozens of other locations, the boys at Bethesda didn't consider adding a sort by local option, meaning it's a nightmare to work out where they all are and get through them.
Oh my god.
Okay, the quests aren't brilliantly
There's a
made,
mod for
but
that.
how about the world and story itself? This was Bethesda's first new universe in 25 years. They couldn't just coast on
Keep it that
pre-established work here. They'd have to write this whole thing themselves from the ground up. But it's fine. Todd's got top writing talent. And him,
Who's that?
Emil, and the rest of the writing team sat down to plot.
Okay.
First order of
Trust.
business. This game's setting. Let's make it extremely inoffensive and completely sanitized. Remember lads, we're gunning for a mainstream crowd here. We don't want to put anyone off. No mature themes, dark humor, nothing edgy at all.
Allowed.
This is not Fallout in space. More like the Jetsons. So they design a game with a tone more akin to a children's show than a gritty, realistic space frontier. Most characters are dull, complete.
And it's a space frontier. You're exploring. You think cowboys didn't run into fucked up shit? I hate that logic. Like, we have completely sanitized humanity, even though everybody, and I don't mean like select people or like, you know, bad things happen everywhere. Everybody did horrible shit. That's just what it is.
Morally upstanding,
It's called
straight
realism,
arrows
man.
with nothing to them. Even the pirates here are Nickelodeon tier.
Oh my god.
And the
I just
nightclub.
want your mommy.
Let's populate it with old men walking around in suits with briefcases, and a few Teletubbies dancing on stage. Yes, that's what a nightclub looks like. Also,
That's what they did with Vampire Bloodlines the Masquerade, the new one. They completely sanitized all the sexuality out of it, even though vampires are pretty fucking sexual. And part of the way of how they seduce humans to get their blood and shit is through seduction, and it just ruins the plot of the game, in my opinion. Yeah, mature reading Teletubbies. Nah, it's fucking cringe.
We have an incredibly detailed dismemberment system with gore and other animations ready-made from Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it completely.
I thought it was
This is
awesome
despite the
when I was a
game
child.
already having a
I would always get the bloody perk, whatever it's called. The one that gives you crit and it makes everything, if you crit, explode. It was awesome. I love that.
mature rating,
I took
by
it
the way.
every
And while
single
there's no
time without
rover in
fail.
this, we'll still put vehicles in the game, and even cool mechs, and even a whole story around those cool mechs. Can the player pilot them?
No.
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 We'll make it a
That'd be
plot
ridiculous.
point that that's illegal in universe.
What?
Okay. Only enemies can then. No.
No.
Not
It's
them
illegal.
either. We'll just add them as background furniture in 1 or 2 locations.
What?
So what about the actual story? Okay, hear me out.
Huh?
Starfield's universe has a series of massive wars set across multiple star systems. Let's set this game decades after any of that happens.
Oh my
Right?
god.
Will there be alien characters? No, not really.
No.
Just people,
Fuck 'em.
some alien animals, and plants. We're going for realism here. True sci-fi with a grounded NASA punk art style. Also, let's add space.
I don't like excessive gore with bloody mess, like shooting someone in the toe. Yeah, but you could just not take it and take a different part. Like, that's what I'm saying. The option's still there. I thought it was cool, but I mean, it's not for everybody. But you shouldn't sanitize the entire game just because some people don't like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I also think like people just, you might not like it, but you still played the game, didn't you?
It's at the end, driving the entire plot of the game.
I think it's fine.
The player's goal
Hope
is to
Exodus
become
is good.
Starboard.
I hope so too.
What we'll have them do is collect the same artifact in the same temple with the same puzzle at the end 24 times.
Ah,
Nice.
sick.
Then at the end of the game, they can jump to a parallel universe.
Oh.
But let's not get too crazy with this. They're all the exact same, with a 15% chance of one minor change, like a character becoming a potted plant. Brilliant.
What?
No one could predict any of this. We just have to make sure that hair clipping glitch on the hunter character that would spoil who they are and the game's big reveal was patched before final release.
Guess who helmet clipping revealed a little early? Bro, what are these QA testers?
Despite the
Nah.
issues, on launch, Starfield does amazingly. Bethesda says it's their biggest launch ever. It's the #1 bestseller on Steam despite being free with the Games Pass.
By the
And
way.
there's over 6 million players on
Insane.
launch. The user reviews, very positive. However, the honeymoon doesn't last long. After
People
sinking
get
a
to
few
the
hours
game.
into the game, the initial excitement
That's
went-
what happened to my friend. Again, I brought this up. She got 9 hours into the game. She thought it was alright. It was pretty fun. She was getting her money's worth playing it for 9 hours, but like, holy fuck. That fucking bug that made her reset the entire game. I don't know if she ever finished it. Like, if I had to replay the same 9 hours I just did, I'd just get pissed.
wears off, and opinions begin to change.
Boring, boring.
Not good.
Boring.
Todd, they're leaving negative reviews on Steam.
Erg.
Now, we've been through this before. Didn't handle it amazingly.
Yeah?
We should just keep a level head here. Let these reviews
No, it's the
simmer
gamers
and
that are
ride out
wrong.
the storm. Log on to Steam. Respond to the reviews. Each one individually.
Oh my
Tell them their
God.
subjective opinions.
What are you gonna do? Tell Todd no? Hell no, that boy's gonna beat my ass.
Objectively wrong. Boring. That's insane. Astronauts went to the moon a few times. There's nothing there. They weren't bored. That's good. Write that.
No.
Bad RPG mechanic.
No, they did not actually do that. Shut
Bored.
up.
That's good. Write that.
We're sorry that you do not like landing on different planets or finding them empty, so that it's not boring. Evoke this feeling of smallness in players and makes you feel underwhelmed. Bro, the audacity. The
Bad
audacity.
RPG mechanics. They must be playing the game wrong. Tell them to create a different character and try again. Send.
What?
What else? The loading screens? Well, have they considered the amount of data they're generating in those load screens? Great.
But you're not generating data. They're literally... You literally just said that it's empty in the game. What do you mean? What are you loading? Ads? I snoozed it.
Send that
We
to you.
won't make it though, but we'll snooze
Emil
it
also
anyway.
sees the backlash. He ponders for a moment. Was it possible their game actually had some issues?
No.
Could he have been wrong?
No.
No.
It's the gamers.
He was right.
Yep.
It's the fans that were wrong.
True.
So he boots up Twitter and writes a 15-part thread on just that. However, shockingly,
That is so
Bethesda's rebuttals
sad.
are ineffective. On Steam, very positive slips to mostly positive. Mostly positive to mixed, and by December, mixed to mostly negative. Todd blames the bad reviews on the game being too different.
What?
What?
But it was alright. December 7th, 2023. It's awards night. And Todd takes his seat. Online, the game was getting blasted. But the critics would understand.
Yeah, the critics that you buy out. The critics who you buy out, or even not necessarily buy out, they just want clout and attention.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Get fucked.
Snubbed again.
No!
Post-launch,
I'm pissed.
Starfield's player numbers crater quickly. Within a month, 330,000 players on Steam dribbles down to 100,000. The next month, that
That's
becomes
actually not
40,000.
that bad.
And by December,
I will say holding that many after a month isn't that bad.
the game has less than 10% of its original player base. It's not just players. The game is so boring, high-profile modders are just up and quitting in the middle of development.
Oh my god, what? I'm not gonna put my heart and soul into a mod for a game as mediocre as this. Yikes.
Okay, no bueno. They need to do something, and quick.
Panicking!
So people at Bethesda man the desks and get to work on patches.
It's a little too late,
And within
buddy.
a few months, miracles start to materialize.
Yeah, but everyone's gone.
60 frames per second. A car.
Oh, should have been there at the start? That's crazy.
An eat food button. My god.
Bro,
They'd
these people
even
patting
added
themselves on the
a
back
map.
for the bare minimum.
However, any goodwill from patches instantly incinerated as they unveil paid mods for a third time and try to shift singular quest mods
And
for
then you just
$7
shit
a
it
piece.
up again.
People will buy anything.
Yeah, they will.
The
You're
more
right.
you put into it, the more it gives back.
Yep.
Review bombs rain again.
Gotta get that money somehow.
So what happened?
$70 for the game, by the way. Need I remind you?
Well, post-launch, a few articles on the game's development comes out, and we get a glimpse of the behind the scenes. Back in 2015, and full-scale production of Starfield was kicking off. For Bethesda, this is also a time of aggressive expansion. 180 people in a single building in Rockville in 2015 turned into 500 people spanning 4
That's
development
insane.
teams, cities, and multiple countries by 2021. And naturally, for development, this changes things.
Yep.
Individual developer freedom goes down the toilet, and people are now forced to adhere to a strict development schedule.
Because otherwise you're not gonna get anything done. That's the problem when you hire so many people.
According to a former
You
dev,
have to. You
some
can't
of the
just
best
let people do
features of
whatever the fuck
Skyrim
they
and Fallout
want.
3 started out as random side projects they'd play around with during development. However,
That many
Bethesda's
people, I
new
mean.
games are made with a checklist design. Veer off it, and upper management won't be happy. So this experimentation is no longer possible.
Yep.
At the same time, a ton of bureaucracy, constant meetings, and
The other thing is, like, if you fail as a developer and it's only you and one other guy, that's on you. If you have 500 other people that you're working with, are like they're working with you and are relying on you, if you fail, then everybody gets fucking punished, even if they did their job. It sucks.
game that is now
That's why
essentially
indie developers
designed by
do
committee.
better, in my opinion.
Word on the street is, Todd is known to be an obsessive micromanager, so almost every creative decision runs through
No.
him. And
No,
with
this
500
sucks. No.
people now under his belt, he's stretched thin. Emil Paliarulo is still the head writer, and his philosophy hasn't changed here. He likes to keep things simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. This is my own personal rule for myself, right?
And why put in any
So keep it simple, stupid, but we have 500 people working on one game. Right.
Effort writing a good story when players are
That
just
makes
going to make a
sense.
paper aeroplane out of it.
Yeah.
You're going to throw them around the room, and they're never going to see your story. Because they are going to spend 30 hours making shacks.
Bruh. He's also the design lead, and he's still absolutely raw-dogging that too. No need for a proper, widely accessible, unified document to keep the 500 people working on the game informed and on the same page. Let's make the game itself a design document. Just write some notes in the game files.
Yeah, just do whatever the fuck you want.
The result of this, a very compartmentalized...
For those that don't know, when you're working with a lot of people in that capacity, you need to have a Bible that you refer to. I'm saying this like, you know, proverbially speaking. You need to have a reference point, and if you skip that, if you don't have a good lead and you don't have a good core, the rest is gonna fall apart, and it shows.
Development with a ton of siloed game features that never interact.
You don't
with
even
each
if there's
other.
like 2 or 3
Mechs
people
that are
working on it, but
designed,
definitely more than
textured,
100.
and coded, and then barely appear outside of a single mission.
Yep.
And systems like Zero Gravity that again are only used a handful of times. After negative internal feedback on gameplay, they'd also pivot direction massively mid-development.
Yeah, I
and
bet.
a ton of systems central to the game were trimmed. And Starfield goes from a more survival and resource-oriented game to something more casual. Fuel consumption, punishing planetary hazards, and the necessity of outpost building,
You just don't
all
die.
either scrapped or
There's no risk to the game. Again, in Fallout, it was really hard to die as well, but like, I mean, it had some RPG elements. This had nothing.
nerfed to the point of being irrelevant. In the past, Todd has said he builds his games starting with the world, and then builds everything out from there, finding the fun as they go along. However, for Starfield, that
He did
happened in
not
the
do
final
that.
year of development.
That's crazy.
It took around 7 years to find that fun.
What?
And for the vast majority of people, it was no
Takes you 7 years to find the fun in a game? Bro, what are we doing?
where to be found.
So it was not that fun to begin with then.
Despite the patches and DLC, the damage had been done.
Yeah, I bet.
Starfield's player base continued to dwindle, and within 6 months of launch, 97% of its Steam players
There's probably more people playing Skyrim, like the actual original Skyrim, not the Skyrim re-release editions, than Starfield right now.
gone.
I bet you.
On Steam, for Skyrim, it took around a decade before players dipped below 20,000.
And this is the original one.
For Fallout 4,
That's what I'm
that took
saying.
around 5 years. For Starfield, it took 3 months.
Wow. Yikes.
As of 2025, Fallout 4 has 6 times the Steam players, Skyrim around 7. The developer's original intent for the game was to be a long-term platform for annual expansions.
Yeah,
But with
right.
these player numbers, not
Unfinished
sure about
game.
that.
Poo-poo.
Even on Bethesda's communication channels, months of silence on the game. No patches for almost
sucked.
half a year.
Yeah.
Had they up and quit too? But then in March 2025, a tweet. The game is not dead yet. A patch even comes out in May. Some bug fixes, creation kit additions, and a new, very low graphical setting.
Yes, that's what we
Nice.
want.
And with a presumed second expansion for Starfield in the works, the game's remaining players wait for details, with a sea of paid creations to keep them busy in the interim.
Paid
But
creations.
for the third time now,
That was honestly such a fucking dud. I hate them for that. I think they introduced it in Fallout 4. Sharded space, yeah.
Gate 3.
Todd leaves the Game Awards empty-handed. The industry
Pissed,
was not the
seething.
same as it once was.
Yeah, they make
The
decent
competition
games,
is now
though.
hot. The tech, incredibly impressive.
Horse balls.
But this next project was different. Bethesda's forte.
Bro. How many years has it been? Stop bringing this up. This makes me mad.
They could not mess it up.
We'll see, Big Boss. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have any faith. Ads just started. Oh, perfect. Well, go check out Big Boss. We've watched his videos before. He's awesome. Makes great content. We're waiting. We're waiting on Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, we're gonna get GTA 6 before Elder Scrolls 6 at this point. Yeah, go check them out right now. After this, Elder Scrolls Online's gonna skip. No, it's gonna suck, dude. If I think it's gonna suck and then it turns out it's good, then that's good for me. Because then my mental's like, you know, oh, yeah, like, this awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is a good game. I would rather be disappointed and then be disappointed and feel nothing than to hype myself out and then it turns out it sucks. Yeah. Elder Scrolls is gonna get concorded. I don't know if I don't think it'll be Concord. I just think it'll be disappointing. All things considered. I regret giving Starfield a chance. Did you have no fun in it whatsoever? Cause like I didn't have fun with Fallout, but then I modded it and it was really fun. Yeah, it was a pretty mid-game overall. I enjoyed it, but I think the mods made it so much better. There's a lot of really fun ones. I had fun, but it was basically a game for me to watch videos too. Oof. I don't know. When I get into an immersive game, I can't watch anything. I have to be like fully immersed in a game. That just means that the game itself failed.
Fire, fire,